stop scrolling because this word could be for you. Welcome back to Bible Study with Ash. Today's scripture is Matthew 25:14 through 20. For it will be like a man going on a journey who called his servants and entrusted to them his property. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to each according to his ability. Then he went away. He who had received the 5 talents went at once and traded with them, and he made 5 talents more. Also, he who had the 2 talents made 2 talents more. But he who had received the 1 talent went and dug in the ground and hid his master's money. Now, after a long time, the master of those servants came and settled accounts with them. And he who had received the 5 talents came forward, bringing 5 talents more. His master said to him, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master." It then goes down to the guy who received the 1 talent. He who had received the 1 talent came forward saying, "Master, I knew you are a hard man, reaping where you do not sow and gathering where you scattered no seed. So I was afraid, and I went and hid your talent in the ground. Here, you have what is yours." But his master answered him, "You wicked and slothful servant." Notice the difference between the responses. "You knew that I reap where I have not sown and gather where I scattered no seed. Then you ought to have invested my money with the bankers, and at my coming I should have received what was my own with interest. So take the talent from him and give it to him who has 10 talents. For to everyone who has will more be given, and he will have an abundance. But from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. And cast the worthless servant into the outer darkness. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth." We like to hate on the man with 1 talent, but let me just say, sometimes I'm like him. Sometimes I relate with him because I look at the little that God has given me, and I'm like, all right, Lord, this doesn't look like a whole lot. This doesn't look like anything would make a difference. But here's what I find with God. He never wastes your faithfulness. It says this all over scripture, like, you will reap what you sow. Do not grow weary in doing good, for at the right time you'll produce a harvest if you don't grow weary and give up. Let me just say, God always moves in your faithfulness. Even if what you are being called to steward right now isn't much. Even if it looks small, looks mundane, doesn't look as shiny or as big as the person next to you, it is just as valuable. So do not be like the wicked and slothful servant. Whatever the Lord has given you to steward, even if it doesn't look like much, you better invest. You better be faithful in that thing. Whatever the Lord's given you, it is on purpose. And God is looking at you and he's testing you and he's saying, is this person going to invest? And is he going to be faithful with what I've given them? Or is this person going to bury it in the ground? Because God, he has a plan for you. And when you are faithful with what he has given you right now, he will eventually make you faithful with much.